Hey fellow backyard boyers, Nick here. Today we're going to be making a simple side quiver or hip quiver. Something like this that you've seen in all my videos. What you're going to need is you're going to need a 17-inch length of 2-inch ABS foam core pipe. The reason why I'm using ABS foam core is because this is a lot lighter than PVC pipe. You're also going to need an 8-inch piece of 1/2 inch PVC pipe. This is going to be for our belt clip. You're going to need a 3/16 drill bit, some sort of rope. Today I'm going to be using some chocolate brown paracord. And then I'm also going to be using 1/2 inch plywood for the base. And then I've got this little cut piece of pipe so that we can mark on the plywood and get a perfect 2-inch circle. Alright, let's get started. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is, what I did, is I basically just angled and rounded the top of the pipe here. So all that is that when the quiver is hanging off your belt, it'll be angled this way. It'll just be a little easier for arrows to go in and come out. And then another thing you want to do is you want to completely flatten this side so that it'll stand up on a flat surface. And once you've done this, what we want to do is you want to take that little circle, you want to go on your plywood, so you can see I'm using this corner here, and you just want to trace the inside. So you can see that, really simple. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to cut this out with just a handsaw, and then we're going to finish this up and we're going to attach it to the main body of the quiver. Now that you've cut your bottom piece, we're going to actually put it into the bottom of our quiver here. Now you could drill a small hole in the bottom as a drain hole in case water gets in here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep it solid on the bottom. What I'm going to do is, I just love using hot melt glue, so I'm going to use hot melt glue around the edge, and then I'm just going to force it into the bottom. If your piece doesn't fit very well in the bottom here, you could actually heat the pipe up and just drive it in, and the hot pipe will conform around the piece. But since I'm just forcing it in, I'm going to be using hot melt glue. Okay, so now that I've got the glue on here, I'm just going to melt the glue. Now that the glue is molten, I'm just going to press the quiver down. Alright, so there we go. So now what you want to do is you just want to sand and clean off the bottom here, round this off, and then we're going to work on the handle. Before we work on the handle, I've already sanded the bottom, so I'm just going to finish it off real quick with a non-reflective black paint. There it is. So now we're going to do the handle. For the handle, what you want to do is you want to pick the lowest point on this slant here. Measure an inch down, and that's where your first drilled hole is going to be, right there. And then you want to measure 5 inches, so about one hand span. So 4 to 5 inches down, and that's where your second hole is going to be. You can see that. So you just want to take your drill bit and you want to drill in here. And what I'm going to do is this bottom hole, I'm actually going to drill kind of at an upward angle so it's easier to get our cord through. Oops. Alright, now that I've dropped everything off the table, here you can see we've got our 2 holes. What you do is you take a length of paracord, or our length of paracord, and you pass it into the first hole. So now you just feed it in. Like this, until it comes out the bottom. Now you go ahead and you tie 2 knots, and that's what's going to hold this in place. Once your knots are tied, just trim the end a little bit. And then pull it through. Now what you want to do is you want to cut about about 15 inches and cut that off. And then you want to pass this through the top hole. Once you've got the end of the cord in here, you want to adjust this handle until the top of it just comes up to here when it's relaxed. We don't want it being too long, but on the other hand, you don't want it too short. Just enough so that when the clip is on here, it'll stay attached to a belt. So you want to keep in mind where that is, pull it out, and then tie an overhand knot. So there we go. Now all you do is you trim this end here, and now we'll start working on our clip. You have a couple of options for the clip. You could use a metal clip, you could make a simple one out of a coat hanger. You could buy a strip of metal, cut it to the same dimensions here, where you have the 3 inches and the 2.5 inches on either side, and just bend it into shape. But since I've been making everything out of PVC pipe, I'm going to show you guys how to make one out of PVC pipe. But this is going to require some heating. So, just to let you guys know. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat this pipe up. Once it's hot enough, I'm going to take this pair of scissors and I'm going to cut out a 1/2 inch strip. So I'll show you what that looks like. Now that the pipe's hot enough, you just take your scissors and you just cut. and it should cut fairly easily. So here I've made my first cut. Now I'm going to heat this up again and then cut my strip. Alright, so here's my cutout strip. It's still really flexible, but I'm going to actually let it cool off. I'm going to let it cool off flat here, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sand off both edges and round both tips. Now that you've got this cut out and sanded, what we're going to do is we're going to heat here and here, and we're going to bend them. What you want to do is take your first piece and heat it down like this. And then you just want to hold it there until it cools. Now what you want to do is, for this piece, you want to heat this portion up. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. You just heat up the end first. Okay, so you heat that up, and then you push it up a little bit. So just give a little lip so it's easy to go on and come off of a belt. Now we're going to heat up this section right here. Okay, so you just fold it back, and then you hold it like this until it cools. Alright, so there we go. So here's our clip. So now that the clip's done, our quiver's done. So the way it works is you take your quiver, you take your clip here, so open this up. Now your clip sits on your quiver. So to use this, actually, put it this way. So to use the quiver, you can clip it on a belt or pair of pants. You just take the clip and you clip it right there on the side, so the quiver will sit right there. So I'll show you guys this quiver in use. Alright, so here's the quiver all finished up. The only thing I did was I spray painted the clip black, and then I also went and spray painted over any scratches or the lettering on here. So here it is. So there it is. Thanks for watching.